5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's
Welcome
going
back.
on?
Welcome back.
What's going on, everybody? Thinking
Oh,
game, what we number 60 now?
60?
60 in?
I
We had to
feel
do
like
Daddy
a 59.
Daycare.
Oh, my, yeah,
Yeah, that was 58. Then that was 59. Daddy Daycare, that was 59.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to watch the kids for a little bit, let them play while we do the podcast. But now we on the bridge.
Life
Yeah.
don't stop.
Yeah,
Being a parent is 24/7.
Yeah, we're in the midway between Little Rock and North Little Rock. We're right in the middle. All right. Now, back to the topics at hand. Today, we just going to run through some topics. The first topic we have is there is no sympathy for winners. It's like when you winning, people just be like, man, I don't care about you complaining, you winning, man.
Your life is perfect, and they can't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Winners can't make mistakes. You don't get no sympathy. You bear with him. You know, his wife left. His kid's sick, man.
He winning.
They've been harassing him on the internet. You know what I mean? They've been trying to
Yeah.
break in his house, taking pictures of his newborn. Oh, they come with it.
Or like say, think about them actors, right? Like Tom Cruise, like say, he better never complain about his career. Man, that dude have been in every movie, every decade. He always been in some big movie, man.
Big movies every decade.
Still making Mission Impossible. Dude, like 60 years old, bro. Still doing stunts, bro.
Doing his own stunts. But he can't have a personal life. He got to accept people. They
Boy.
can say anything about him. But, us,
Yeah.
something happened to us. Oh, it's me. My mama died 20 years ago. I still ain't over there. I can't go to work. But grief is nothing, to play
Yeah.
with. Handle your grief at your own time.
And then for regular people, right? When you win and people, oh, he changed.
Yeah.
He stuck up. Or, he this, They don't realize, like, the level of work you got to put in, you know what I'm saying, to win, you know what I'm saying?
That's what changed me, you know what I mean? All the hard work, and I don't want to lose what I got. Well, he in the gated community now, you know what I mean? He driving the Jag, you know what I mean? He don't come to the hood with the Rolls Royce no more.
And then when you go to the hood with the Rolls Royce, you get robbed. Why he was in the hood? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So anything you
can't
do is
win,
wrong.
man.
Exactly.
So our next topic is the version of who you are right now is why you have what you have. Is
So
there
you-
truth to that, or you think that's...
You being the best version of you. It's an accumulation of all your decisions
Oh, definitely.
or accomplishments, you know what I mean? And that's based on your mentality.
Right.
Mentality, you know what I mean? And that's the version of you
Right.
that it is. Good and bad things. Some people always, you got to change yourself, you know what I mean,
Right.
to the version you want to be. That doesn't mean your old version of you was all bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep the good
Sometimes
habits.
you got to make some tweaks and adjustments.
Yeah,
right?
you know what I mean?
Like I
but
think about, for me, right, Mike, version 20-year-old Mike is different than the 30-year-old Mike and the about to be 40-year-old Mike.
Yeah.
3 different versions, you know what I'm saying? 3 different versions. And when I was that version, I had some things, but I got what I got because of what I was doing at that time. Pretty much, what a 20-year-old be doing, you know what I'm saying? When I got to being 30, when I actually I need to get some sense, I need to figure out what I'm going to do in life, you know what I'm saying? Instead of working these jobs, I need to get in a career. Then your mindset started to change. You starting to give more things. And I always what I would tell kids is that you got to be honest with yourself of what you're doing right now, you know what I'm saying? You can rationalize all you want, but you got to be reality at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So.
I just don't think, that's important to younger people. You think you got all this time.
Oh, man,
when
yeah.
you're
You do,
sitting in
yeah.
your 20s, you're 15. I don't have to figure this out now. And our advice is just do it while you're young, while you got the energy, while you got the focus, while you got the time.
Man, don't make them blanket statements. Oh, they trying to hold me back,
They don't want me to have fun.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, you'll have plenty of time for fun when you get
Boy.
the money you want to get.
Boy. It ain't fun when you want to go to Disney World, but you go there, but you still got to eat ramen noodles and ham sandwiches like you was at home.
Yeah.
And you robbing Peter to pay Paul, really just to go to Disney World, you know what I'm saying?
And just for the pictures, you know what I mean? You went and stood outside the gate.
But if you want that version of you, you're going to get what you get, you know what I'm saying? All right, next topic. How hard is it for a minority or black male to get to a high level of success? What do you think? Like, if you can explain how hard it is, like the adversity that you got to overcome.
Well, I mean, it really starts from the womb. A lot of people say everybody has an equal chance,
Mm.
but when you are introduced and brought in to struggle, your perspective is going to be way different than that.
Yes,
And just because somebody else made it, don't mean you gonna make it.
That's
Or
true.
just because it's possible to make it, don't mean that's gonna be your story.
Right.
And just because somebody failed, don't mean you'll fail. Well, everybody who mama's a crackhead, they fail. No, that's not true.
that's not true. Yeah.
But don't everybody doesn't win either.
Right.
It's adversity on each level.
Each level. Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, there's adversity for everybody. Yeah, I understand everybody's gonna go through a thing, but when you start lower, you use the end up lower. You know
Right.
what I mean? Let's say if we run the same speed, but you start the race ahead of me, 100 meters ahead of me, and you don't have any obstacles. You have minimal obstacles.
Right.
Or even if we had the same obstacles,
Yeah.
but you're starting 100 meters ahead of me.
Right.
So you're probably, unless you make a mistake, you're probably going to finish 100 meters ahead of me.
Right.
You know,
And I think too, one of the reasons why is hard is because you get indoctrinated living in the hood, right? You get indoctrinated with it. You never really get that balanced approach where you see things outside of where you live. You try to tell a kid they can go to an apprenticeship, and they say, "I want to go work at Walmart," because that's what everybody doing
and
around where they going.
and they
you know
want
what
their
I'm saying?
money. I mean, my mom's got money. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
works at Walmart. This is how we get it.
And you don't understand how money works.
I
yeah.
want to work hard and get my money. I don't want to cheat the system. I just want to work hard and get my money, and that's honorable. You know what I mean? But maybe that's not the.
And then to
most
challenge
efficient way.
yourself, like everybody don't want to challenge it. I admit it is hard to challenge yourself, but when you go through the challenge, though, you realize that you have so much in the tank that you could use that you're not using, and it's like, well, why aren't you using it? You know what I'm saying?
And that's that hustle thing. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
definitely, yeah.
hustle and work, but if you're working toward the wrong thing,
Yeah.
you don't know where you're going. Effort without direction is nothing.
Boy.
I mean, you're just standing there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you're a hamster in a wheel. You're running hard. You're doing the work,
Going to
but you're in the same place. Well,
Yeah.
I worked just as hard as he did, and he's a doctor, but
yeah,
you weren't in the right career. You
That's true.
didn't do that work at school, so
yeah.
it takes more than hard work. It takes direction.
So the next question is,
Thinking outside the box.
how can you convert bad tactics into winning tactics? Like things you do, like little
Things.
personality things.
You know what I mean. They're maybe a little bit morally questionable. What maybe you're good at cards or gambling. You take that, you know what I mean, into the corporate world.
Yeah.
You got a good poker face.
Yeah.
Poker face. You know what I mean. And things like that.
Like if you can sell a dream to a girl, there's no reason why you can't kill an interview, right?
Yeah.
Great communicator, but you can't communicate in the corporate world. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're communicating in the neighborhood, you can talk to everybody, but when you go to work, it's kind of like standoffish or whatever.
And that's your comfort zone, right? So
Yeah.
you have the ability, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or sometimes I can throw a football, but when them lights come on, when them
Boy.
stadium lights come on, I
That's
get
true.
nervous. Well, it's the same football you was throwing in your backyard to your dad.
Yeah, it is different. I remember when I played basketball for the few years I did. You get super comfortable in practice, but it's different in the actual game, though.
Yeah.
When the referee on the court with you, he got the timers and everything. It's crazy, man.
And we don't see it as youth, you know what I mean? He's talking about the differences
Yeah.
of live, game time, but going through those motions, the fundamentals,
Yeah.
the muscle memory, you know what I mean? You got to rely on what you train for.
How was in the football game, man? I mean, it's just organized chaos, man. Like if you play D lineman, man.
To me,
I
like,
mean,
I
in practice
play,
it may be fun, but in the real, we playing against the opposite team, but they don't care about
It's
you.
slow. It's slower. You can't focus on the other 11 people.
No, I'm
or
saying as far as like the reality, like when you're going against this person, you could your homeboy, y'all be like playing around in practice, but this dude, like this offensive lineman, really trying to maul you. You know what I'm saying?
The weird thing about that is, you focus on what your reads. Like
Yes,
sometimes you
yes.
Like maybe I'm in. The coach told us to do this, but I'm gonna watch the center. If he move his hand, I can move.
And see, that's what that's why I want to say that in life.
Looking down the line,
It's the same way in life. Like when like people be saying like they trying to hold me back, or when you come up against adversity, you can turn that football or that tactic. You can swim move that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of just getting stuck right there. You know what I'm saying? And you got to realize that the forest is bigger than the trees. You know what I'm saying? Don't get stuck at that one tree. You know
and
what I'm
in
saying?
basketball, the people are right next to you.
Yeah.
Like, you can reach out and touch somebody in the stands.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, telephone interviews and in-person interviews, kind of different. You know what I mean? When you're sitting next to three strangers and, they control your face, you can see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
true.
it may hit you a little bit different.
Then you got to learn how to, I think that's one thing that made us different. We know how to conversate with different people, but we watched a lot of things. Like, instead of just watching All Def Comedy Jam, we watched Seinfeld, you know what I'm saying? Or, some other stuff. Like, my wife, she watched Third Rock from the Sun. I didn't watch that. She watched it, you know what I'm saying? But you understand the corny comedy, you understand our comedy. It did.
Makes
you be
you
able to
more
relate
relatable.
that at work, you know what I'm saying? So, what's the next one? So, honesty without kindness is harsh.
Yeah, I mean, people
say the honest, brutal truth, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, brutally honest.
You don't have to be brutal, to be honest. People don't.
Even though people ask for it, just be totally honest with me. Like, yeah, right.
Well, totally and brutally is, two different things. People don't like to admit that people who are brutally honest, they like to be brutal.
That's true, yeah.
And they hide behind the truth. Well, I was telling the truth. I was morally right because
I am who
was.
I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
Take it or leave it, yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer was who he was.
Yeah.
And they took him, to that cell.
One thing I find
you can be taken to the cell,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, with your words and your actions.
Yeah.
So we don't have to take you how you are.
One thing I found funny is like, even you see it on social media now, which I think is so funny, but you hear women be saying like, if you just tell me the truth, it may be a better outcome. And it's like, I've never, how many dudes gonna tell you, you know what, I really don't want to date you. I just, you know what I'm saying? And how many dudes you think they will actually say that? How many women will actually take that as like, okay, I see what you're saying, that's cool.
Well, you got to use a lot of people use their emotional intelligence. Well, I know from this person's history and reactions to small things, I know they're going to have a big negative reaction. But don't play the game, right?
Yeah.
If you're lying to her or him,
Right.
And you think you might get hurt if you tell the truth,
Yeah.
you might not need to do that.
But yeah, but can you accept it? That's, I guess
No,
what I'm
I
saying.
mean, no,
accept the
but
truth,
you're coming from the victim saying, can I accept the brutally honest, right?
Right, yeah.
But you don't have to be brutal.
No, you don't have to be brutal at all.
I
no.
can put some sugar on anything.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
some people just can't accept that either, though.
Well, I mean, that's them.
You're right, exactly.
All right, did I mislead you? Did I do something wrong?
And that's what I'm saying. They
I'm
say
responsible
you
for what I
misled me,
did.
but no, I told you the truth. I didn't mislead you. Like, if I tell you the truth, if I tell you this hamburger got onions, mustard, and ketchup, and you know you're allergic to onions, and you still get the burger and eat it, I just told you it had onions and mustard and ketchup.
Yeah, I mean, that's foolish. You know what I mean?
People do that, though. That's what I'm saying. People do it, though.
But, you're not wrong in that situation. That person wants the burger and you hide the onions.
No, I'm telling you.
No,
yeah.
you in this situation, you're telling them. So but a situation where you would be wrong, but was hiding the onions and things like that.
Because even when you go to a fast food restaurant and you take stuff off the burger, like, you can't expect they're gonna be getting it 100% right every time.
You gotta just check.
Hey, I mean, if you go to Wendy's or McDonald's or wherever, out of 10 times, maybe 7 they may get it right. But 3 times they probably still give you a regular hamburger because they dealing in volume so much that your order is like 1 out of 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So same way with the truth. Like, a person can be honest with kindness or they can be brutally true. But can you even accept the truth when it's given to you? Whether it's however it's served up. You know what I'm saying? Some people just can't accept. This dude sold drugs because it wasn't nothing else for him to do. But guess what? There's some people in the hood, that's their truth. There were no jobs, you know what I'm saying? Or they tried to go work at the supermarket, but the supermarket wouldn't hire them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in proximity, you know what I'm saying?
And it was like, I was watching this thing about niceness, being nice and being kind, the difference, you know what I mean? And it's the intent and the expectation and the consideration of that person's
Right.
feelings. So brutally honest, you're basically saying, I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you without considering your feelings. You
Right.
know, to being honest with kindness, I'm going to tell you what you need to know,
Yeah.
upfront, direct, forward, but I'm going to be considerate to your feelings.
And I got a wrinkle for that, right? What if you're honest with kindness first, and then they come back and ask again, then you're brutally honest? Like, let's say if somebody like, man, let me get $200. No, I'm not giving you 200. I can't give you $200. I don't have that. Then they come back again, man. Why you don't want to give me $200? Dude, I just said no. I'm not giving.
You gotta find the motivation
I know,
behind your
right?
action.
Because people try you. It seems like kindness, they try you.
Now
Yeah.
somebody, it's always that person with a gun. They can't wait to use it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So people be
Yes.
hiding behind their kindness, but they can't wait to
Oh,
pull out.
man.
They can't wait to pull out their gun, that
Boy.
brutally honest thing.
Boy.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm not looking for trouble, but if you get it,
Boy.
if you bring a little bit of trouble to me, I'm
you
gonna
that
bring you
smoke. Yeah.
1,000
Yeah.
in return. And people be waiting on that, like, well, I'm gonna say it nice. I hope he say something back to me so I can unload on him. So people prepare for that. But you got to stand your ground and set boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Once they,
Because people try to say, you stand your ground. People try to say you being mean. No, I'm standing ground, bro.
yeah. So
You know what I'm
when
saying?
people tell their version of the story,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course you weren't kind.
Oh, yeah.
You went straight for the brutally honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't give them a chance.
Right.
You didn't even listen. You don't have no sympathy for nobody. You know what I mean? That's going to be their version anyway.
Right, exactly. So, this next question, right? Who do you think had more influence, thinking about when we was younger, who had more influence, peers or parents?
I don't know.
Think it depend on the circumstance?
I'm going with parent.
Think so?
But it's not like a big gap. It's like 60-40.
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
you know what I mean. They're like, your parents teach you how to eat, bathe. What religion you probably gonna have when you're smaller. But your peer group teach you how to kind of.
Everything else.
They teach you how to live in the ocean. You know what I mean? These are your peer groups. I mean, because it's not like when your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like, I find myself telling my son when to fight and not to fight. Well, he can't just. He gotta figure.
He can't process that.
He gotta feel that out for himself. You know what I mean?
Then you want to make
Because-
him a trained killer at the same time
Exactly.
too. You know what I'm saying?
And I can't. And I know this is about my new job.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so many situations that you're not ready for. I can teach you the basics.
Yeah.
And how to do your job.
Right.
But I can't teach you how to respond to every situation. So, son, on day 2, they're going to do this and this. And when they
Right.
do this, you do this.
Right.
If they play triangles, no, we can't do that.
That's
Like,
a big
it's-
logic chart. That's
it's
a
like-
big old logic chart.
The flow
You know
chart
what
is
I'm
too
saying?
big.
Yeah,
it's like
insane.
playing spades. Simple game.
Yeah.
Colors, numbers.
Right.
Well, what if they got this? Well, what if you got the little joker and the ace? What do you do?
Right.
You know what cards beat what cards, but the
Right.
strategy and when to use them
Right.
is the game.
Yeah, like chess.
So
yeah, for
that's
sure.
where you learn, like even with chess, simple pieces, simple moves, distinct moves, but a hard and strategic game.
Right. I could say, from a guy who grew up in a single parent household, you get to see your mom only so much, and that because she's working, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time, you could be with your peers. It could go from 60-40 to 80-20 almost. You know what I'm saying? Peers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, you get around the wrong peers. What's deemed is wrong. I mean, dude, most of the dudes like that sell drugs, they was around dudes that that hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most dudes that was players, they was around dudes. That's all they talked about. How to
But
work girls. You know
Do
what I'm
you
saying?
consider like OGs peers or like more of a parental role?
It depends on how they. Some dudes they treat they like peers though, and some like it's like a parental role. They're like, nah, man, you don't need to be over here doing that.
I mean,
and
just
then
'cause
some
no,
like
no,
you got to
no,
put in the work like I did.
No. Just because they're got a parent role, don't mean it's a good parent role.
No, exactly.
Like some
Yeah,
parents, you
right.
be like, hey, I smoke this age. You know what I mean? You gonna drink? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, they give you a sip of Jack Daniels, man, before they get you a little squeak, man.
So they teach them those.
Good for your
lessons.
worms.
Yeah. They teach you those lessons.
But kids, you have to have your own mind though. Don't be like easily influenced. We all take from somebody that people we run across and learn. We all learn from
learning,
we all learn from everybody, but you got to be able to filter things out and build yourself. Like be able to work for you, build yourself.
It's easier said than done. At the bottom, being a rookie of situations, you learn more about courtship from your peers than your parents sometimes.
That's true, because how many parents really have the sex talk with their kids? You know what I'm saying?
Or the courtship talk. You know what I mean? Just
courtship,
like
because you don't know the difference between.
How do you treat a lady? You know what I mean?
The people that say I'm dating, like, what does dating mean? Are y'all in courtship or y'all dating? Like, what does dating mean? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know
it
grown
changes
folks,
across the years.
Yeah, no, I know grown folks can't really have that conversation and they can't tell you the difference.
Exactly.
They have all these terms, modern terms. I'm dating with a purpose, you know what I mean? I'm walking in faith, you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
Because we got different dictionaries.
Boy, for real. Some people got different Bibles too.
You know what I mean? Like, what is the actual meaning?
So, this is probably the last little section we're going to get on this bridge. It say universal skills, man or woman, that have to be taught. Being consistent, do you think they have to be taught?
Yes. Because you're only consistent when you're younger to things you want or your habits.
Adults too, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they carry those things, being consistent and being...
and then understand how much it takes to be consistent. Like, to be consistent at something, that means you're probably going to give up in other areas to be consistent in that area. Because
sometimes it's just giving them nothing, and nothing is so valuable to some people.
Yeah.
Like, you can take this 30 seconds and do 10 push-ups every day.
Right. That's consistent. You got to be consistent. Right.
Being consistent.
Exactly.
But what would you choose? Nothing. I would choose...
Yeah.
To that 30 seconds.
Lay in the bed for 30 seconds.
Not do nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just walk around with my phone, or just walk around, or just.
I was watching a YouTube video. Dude was doing the burpees. Like, they would get out of jail, they still do it at the crib. Man, it's actually pretty cool, man. I need to start doing it.
I mean, and it's just like you have all the equipment you need to do a burpee.
You just gotta be consistent.
You have anything you need to do, a push up or sit up, but you just don't want to get out on the floor. And that's
corporate world, life. Because everybody's consistent at something. You can't be honest and say what you're consistent at doing.
Yeah.
Like, a person that's lazy, that means that's consistent at doing nothing, like being lazy, right?
Yeah.
A person that's a hard worker, that means you're consistent in doing hard work.
And then, like I say, hard work without a target. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You can be on the hamster wheel consistently.
A missile with no coordinates, man.
What?
Yeah. So, discipline. You think that has to be taught? That's universal too, just the discipline to sit down and do the homework. The discipline to only be with one person. The discipline to, because now everybody now abandoning discipline almost. It's almost like, this world we live in on social media.
Discipline is denying yourself, you know what I mean? Maybe instant gratification for maybe a long-term effect.
Yeah,
But we all, hey, live your best life now. Don't wait. It's all about you. You know what I mean?
But I think when you say that, though, and you don't, before you have that talk or you learn about discipline, some people do take that the wrong way. They say, live your best life. I just do what I want to do with no discipline.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, now you got like 11 kids, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to live your best life.
$10,000 in debt. Hey, put that trip on that credit card.
Yeah.
Pay it back later.
You only live once.
Yeah.
Then you realize, like, you don't even make enough money to pay 10 grand back for credit card.
Yeah.
I mean, if people don't realize how much money you need to make to even have a credit card that'll give you 10 grand, like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's consistency and discipline. Even get a credit score that can get you a credit limit like that. But discipline and consistency go hand in hand.
Oh, definitely.
Because you need one. Well, you can't prove discipline without consistency.
Right.
And you can't be consistent without discipline.
And do you think that's like things that separate people, that can separate another person? Like, when you think about Kobe, that dude, they said the way he used to work out with the discipline, man, and that's why he was great. Like, even with Jordan, they say he used to work out with Tim Grover, his trainer, a lot. That he was.
And Shaq is an outlier, you know what I mean?
I mean, he did when he was young. I remember we watched that documentary. I mean, dude was ripped up.
Yeah.
But when he got to LA, though, bro, that discipline
it's still performing.
Yeah, but he wasn't working out in the summer though. He lost that discipline. He said they was fouling him. He said he just wanted to go on the beach and drink pina coladas, man.
And you only live once. You gotta love yourself.
And boy.
But with these things, it brings us to our next topic.
Yeah.
The vision. So with the discipline and the consistency, You can consistently, I'm gonna bring it up again, hamster wheel
Yeah.
every day.
Especially
You
if
can
you're not
get
being
on the
honest about what you're doing.
hamster wheel
I've been on the hamster wheel, yeah.
with
for
no
sure.
discipline. You will outwork everybody. I mean, with no vision, you will outwork everybody.
Yeah.
But everybody will have more than you
That's true.
because you didn't know where to go. Like
Right.
that's the saddest part. You did the work.
Right.
You were consistent. You know what I mean? You topped your best goal. You know what I mean? But you was on the hamster wheel. It didn't go.
Boy. And then like having a vision to give you something to really think about, like, how do I fulfill this vision? Like, what is it gonna take for me to fulfill this vision? Like, if like a kid, like they want to go to the NBA, like wanting to go to the NBA back in the '80s versus now 2023, two totally different visions to fulfill. Like, you have to work out probably insane now just to get recruited by a college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be a top pick. I don't even think about the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Or NFL. You know.
And we're talking about different kind of visions, you know what I mean? Like,
Even-
hey, being a prophet, seeing the future, and all that. But we're talking about that as well, the spiritual side. But you know what I mean, talking about the planning side as
Yeah.
well. It takes a different plan.
It's like with a vision with a business, right? Like if Whataburger would have opened up in Southwest, you know what I'm saying? Would it have been different if they opened up in Southwest versus over in Chenal, wherever that is? Would have been a difference?
I think the lines would have still been packed, but it would have died down. For
Because
sure would have died down.
people can drive from Southwest to Chenal, but would they drive from Chenal to Southwest? That makes sense?
Yeah.
I know it's tough to think about. I'm saying vision. When you have vision, you got to think about those things when you're making a business. That's what a business plan is. They're asking you for your vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some businesses, you're not going to see a Texas Roadhouse in Southwest probably. We had an Applebee's, but it closed down because nobody was going to it. You know what I'm saying? They moved to Bryant somewhere, Benton like that. You know what I'm saying? The only restaurants, it seems like this in Southwest, are fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sharks, McDonald's, Wendy's, you know, Arby's and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one, if that. Or the Chinese restaurants, the buffets.
Yeah.
Who goes there? I don't go there, but who goes there? There'll be people that go there, though. But what I'm saying, that vision part of it, though, like, say, Whataburger ain't gonna open up one. And if they did, that'd be very surprising. But because they'll be competing with McDonald's, Wendy's, and Popeyes and all
But
that
they
other
get
stuff.
the, you know, they'll get that Ben Bryant traffic, hopefully. But
And then you think about your personal like vision, like you have to know that some male or female, like you look for a spouse, that person may not fit your vision of what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and then now you love them.
When you're young, yeah, you kind of get caught up in the other things, but what about this person communication? You know what I'm saying? Is this person disciplined? Are they consistent? You know what I'm saying? You know, if you think about you want to mother your kids, you know, you want somebody that want to be, you know, consistently, you want to be a mother, you know what I'm saying? You don't want somebody to be like, they consistent, then next thing you know, like, I don't want to be a mother right now. I'm good on that, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that's the
The
thing.
same thing with a dude. You don't want no dude, a father. You know, if he's showing you that he's not consistent, is that fit your vision? Is that what you want for a father? You know what I'm saying?
Not a good husband. Nah, maybe he'll be a good father. Let's roll a dice on
You know what I'm
that.
saying? You can't think, my sex is going to keep him there. That's only going to last for so long, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's like Whataburger. It was crowded when it first opened. You go by there now, you probably just drive on through and get you something.
Krispy Kreme line was down the block for like 2 years, but
Man.
now it's out of business.
Out of business.
And they only made one thing. It was donuts. So, but
that's a good
Simply's
one.
there, still chugging along.
Then our next one is charisma, like the ability to engage people or kind of, keep people engaged. You know, learning, is that something that's learned or is that natural? Some people have natural and some people learn it over time too.
They got, tips and tricks, but
Yeah.
I think that's a really natural thing. Sometimes when people overdo it, it looks weird.
Yeah.
But I like the effort. Like, if you're not good at something, you're not good at talking to people, build that skill.
Yeah, you got to
Talk to
definitely build
people,
that skill.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something interesting about you. It's something only you get.
People
You know what I mean? You
remember
can bring
charismatic
that-
people. They remember them. Like, hey man, what they do? What that tall dude that does with y'all, man? Dude,
Yeah.
crazy man.
We got that a lot.
Yeah,
But,
man. I got a bonus one too. What do you think about confidence? Like do people confuse confidence with arrogance, or is it kind of almost one and the same?
It's a fine line. If
Yeah.
they don't like you, Like I said this before, if they don't like you, it's arrogance. If they like you, it's confidence.
Yeah, because you got to be confident in yourself. You have to be like when you turn 18 and you be out in the world, you move out of your parents' house, you go to college, and it's just you now. You have to be confident within yourself.
You know,
Um,
predators look for
Boy.
unconfident. Like you look lost. If you're looking for your car, you're scrambling for your keys. You look like you don't know where you're going. You know, you look like a tourist when you're on vacation. You know, the sharks look for that.
Yeah. You gotta be confident in your skills. You gotta be confident, you know what I'm saying, what you bring to the
Yeah, 'cause
table,
they'll
your
undercut you.
value.
They'll lowball you.
Because how many people, you know, thinking about in the hood, how many people like tell you that you great, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you rarely hear that, you know what I'm saying? They'll roast you before they tell you that you're great.
People
But
love
you
being
have to know that
roasted
you're
first.
great though,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you don't, the hood will mess you up because they will be roasted. They just having fun, but really they tearing your confidence up.
Yep.
And, you know, I tell my wife all the time, my confidence
Am I
is
really?
self-building.
Yeah.
It's self-feeding confidence.
Am I really ugly?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And somebody say, yeah, you ugly. You you look like the Green Mile. You know
Boy, you 57 years old, still talking about what they said to you in junior high.
It's like, man, yeah, you look like Esther Rowe, man. Yeah. Well, yeah, man. So, yeah. And next one is empathy. Ability to share feelings of others. I struggled with this when I was younger. I definitely struggled with it. I mean, I had the eye of a tiger, man. No empathy for me.
And then sometimes you just
You know
don't
what I'm
care. Like, well,
Yeah.
what the people
Nonchalant,
read, like they say, read the room.
Yeah.
Your ability to do that. Some people just don't care.
But see, when you don't have empathy, you can read the room and you say, you know what, that person's struggling.
No, you
So,
can't.
huh?
I mean, it's the inability when you you said when you do have it or you don't have it.
We're using it the wrong way. Like you got empathy. Oh, this person clearly just broke up with somebody. She need help. But if you got empathy, you won't mess with her. But if you got empathy, you wouldn't mess with her. But
Talk
if,
to her or try to
but
date
if
her
you
at this
don't
time.
got empathy, you singing player. Cheers to you for giving
I feel
me.
like
Yeah.
you use your emotional intelligence for evil, right?
Yes. Yeah. Using a bad tactic, right?
You know, it's like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
That's the weak one.
Yeah, exactly. But if you got empathy, you be like, nah, man, she weak, man. Leave her alone, man. You know what I'm saying? And one of the last one I think is learning how to listen. I had to learn this too, man. Learning how to listen. Probably, arguably, one of the best skills to acquire in life.
Yes, and the people don't understand what the kind of really means because some people will be quiet and let you talk, and it
Yeah.
appears to be listening. Oh,
Right.
they're a good person to talk to. They just let me talk, and they're just quiet. They don't have any follow-up questions. They're not actively listening. They say that yeah, that's crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Every 20 to 30 seconds,
Yeah.
that person was not listening to you. You know, we gotta
And
determine what listening from communication.
And sometimes a person, if you really listen to them when you meet them, you know, a friend, a spouse, whatever, they actually tell you about themselves if you just listen to them.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, a person will tell you that they're crazy if you listen to them. You start listening to stuff, they start talking about how they study the clouds and how
Yeah.
this cloud look like a dog in the sky. You know what I'm saying? I
That
mean,
means I ain't got to work today.
exactly. But you know, you so enamored by this person, how they look and stuff, you're not even listening. You know to what they
Or
saying.
what you got to get off your chest.
Yeah.
What you got to vent about. What new business project you got going. Your real estate.
Right.
Your modeling. You know what I mean? You know, so
Shannon Sharp is leaving Undisputed.
you know, what it,
He got a podcast.
and it's doing really good. And then everybody wants to be on their sports figures. I mean, athletes, entertainers. You know, people from all over want to be on this podcast. He's a pretty good interviewer. Exactly. And you got to look where he started.
Yeah.
Nobody liked the way he talked. Don't know when he was a rookie in the NFL. But you know, they always talking about his thick accent and his speaking. Right, you know what I mean? Yeah, we are. But not everybody was comfortable with that. You know what I mean? That's a person, if you can see year after year he was on that show, he grew his skill set, his marketability, he branched off, he wasn't.
He was just being himself. He wasn't even fronting. I think he was just being himself.
Yeah, you know, so, I mean, really, you don't really see a lot. You see a lot of ex-athlete hosts,
Yeah.
but they stay conservative in the lane. They don't really.
But I think too, I think this happens sometimes. when you work with somebody, but y'all from two different sides of the track, kind of like with Dame Dash and Jay Z, right?
Yeah.
One from Brooklyn, one from Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just like, you working for somebody from Sherwood and from Southwest. You know what I'm saying? It's different nuances and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with people that's not from where you from, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a good question, right? So when do you break up? When do you break up a winning team? Like, I know people like to break up when things going on a downhill slide. Why we're not making the
It
records?
might not even be trouble. They sniffing. I'm out.
Yeah, you're not making records like you used to. The team is not winning anymore.
Yeah.
But Skip and Shannon, they're growing up. They were,
I
they're
think that I can see them a little bit starting to people. They've been doing it for 7 years. That's a long time, bro.
yeah. I mean, but we still like to hear from them. We like to
Exactly.
back and forth. Even with Jay Z and Dame, I think they were on the verge of being like together. I think they would have been bigger than Jay Z is now.
Yeah, I think Jay Z kind of just
He
wanted to do his own
prematurely,
thing. He from
you know,
Brooklyn. I
yeah,
mean, he's from Harlem. One dude's from Harlem. One dude's from Brooklyn. Man, I mean,
yeah,
that probably could sum it up right there. I mean,
yeah,
you
and
couldn't even expect that to last for a long time. The way Harlem dudes are compared to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
so
What
exactly.
I see on
So
TV.
those guys were winning, and they said, hey, let's pull the pin or pull the plug.
They say somebody got in Jay Z ears. Allegedly, somebody got in Jay Z ears and say, better than you can do that on your own, bro.
They handle business different too, but I think that is what made them, a good team
Bro, yeah, because Dame really, Dame broke down the brick wall and made the trail. All they had to do was then just go in there and do their thing.
and perform. Yeah,
Dame, yeah, he did a lot of behind the scenes people don't want to admit, but he went in there and cut some executives out and said, you going to play this record and did all this. And then after all that's over, now he's the villain, and Jay Z looks like he's a good guy.
yeah.
That's what happens when you play the good guy, bad guy game too, right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's good when it works because
Yeah.
you go kill them all and I go clean it up. You know what I mean? It's not like that a good front man.
Shout out to Dame, man. He's figuring it out, though, man.
For sure, for
He a
sure.
hustler, man.
And he got a lot of knowledge in his head, and
Oh,
people is listening
yeah.
to him. So
Yeah.
big ups to Dame.
Shout out to Shannon too, man. Sometimes like I say you gotta diversify, man. You know what I'm saying? He was strategic too. He kind of like built up the club station. He kind of brought it on the show. Kind of talked about it when LeBron when he'll bring in the side and stuff. And next thing you know, I was like, yo, you got a podcast now?
You got to look at that. There's networking using his
Yeah, Skip Bayless trying to do it. He said, I'm gonna make me a podcast too. I don't think
Hey.
it's the same though.
Oh yeah, exactly, and that's how you know who kind of stands alone. Skip does his thing from the sports world as a journalist, and then what about them?
From an objective point, you gotta understand Skip Bayless. What he does is all about ratings and fanfare and like being that heel, like kind of like wrestling.
Yeah.
You gotta have the bad guy. You gotta have the good guy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that person that the fans can get their reaction from. He know how to work the fans and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Jim Rome was doing that for a little bit,
Oh,
but
I got choked out. Yeah.
exactly. So that don't last long when you make enemies like that. But he's got a good network. So when you look at these two situations,
Skip Bayless like kind of like what you think he was like Ted DiBiase, man, or like a talk show host, man.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So when you look at these situations, Jay Z and Dame and Shannon and Skip, how do they take rejection? You know what I mean? How do they go on with their careers? That's in the past.
In life, you have to take rejection. I mean, rejection is part of life. Like, how do you get better if you never lose? How do you know? If you never took a loss? How do you get better? Like, you show me a person that won the whole time. I show you a person that they lose that one time. They'll be devastated.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to go undefeated. It's insane. You know what I'm saying? In anything. Whether it's girls, talking to girls. When you first start talking to girls, you may get rejected the first few times. Until you understand how to communicate with the woman. But you got to take that loss. You can't get mad and say, oh, now I want to be Hulk smash. I want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or being incel. Now I hate women.
Really?
Things like that. Because one of them did me wrong, and now I want to change sides. Well, a man played me. Now I want to be with only women, or a woman hurt my feelings. I want to be with only men. You just need balance in your life.
Sometimes they make it. It seems like social media make it seem like men do all the crazy stuff. Women do crazy stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Women
I've
gotta.
been in them situations younger. I've been a rebound guy, like good David. He's like, I think I want to go back to my ball free. You know?
Women have better PR than men. Their public relations, yeah, Like, well, you
I see through
no,
it.
you no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that don't matter.
That's true.
Like, that don't matter what you see. Like, as a whole,
I see.
like you, the first thing you said is like, I feel like men get a bad rep. You know what I mean? Well, why don't women? Because they're public relations and
Yeah.
they put their best foot forward. They do all well, women are just awesome. Women are just better.
Yeah, they are better. You're right. They do get better. But I think if dudes say anything like women do crazy stuff, it's like they get crucified for it too. So a lot of dudes don't want to get that crucifixion, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, because at the
Everybody
end of the
crazy at some
day,
point. Everybody do crazy.
the same men is talking about negatively about women want women. How does that work? You know what I
Always.
mean? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you, buddy. But yeah, we just some things to think about.
Yeah.
Thinking game. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. We out here on the bridge. Nice day. It ain't windy like it was last time.
Don't look directly into the sun.
Boy. Yeah, so we're gonna get ready to sign out this thing. Let us know what you think. You got anything else you want to say before we sign out?
Now.
We signing out. Peace.